I'm the kind of a person who wouldn't dance until my hands up held in the air by my friends. I don't know ABCD of dance. Then how would I organize a dance event which is to be held at university level? What will happen? How will convince others to participate? It's even more difficult to convince your manager for 1+ rating when you are on bench for the entire year. But ego was constantly pushing me to do what I have accepted as a challenge. I was in dilemma. And then my two best friends, Amit and Jiten, came to rescue. Definition of best friend is quite different. They always pull your leg, but when you really need them, they always help you. They encouraged me and then started our journey. I don't know if I was playing role of Mahendra Singh Dhoni or not, who was most successful captain of Indian cricket team, but definitely I successfully found Suresh Raina and Ravindra Jadeja. 4 weeks is what we had to learn, to dance, and to prove. So we picked a song which was not very popular. So in case we make mistakes, nobody notices that. We choose a Garhwali song, which is a beautiful dialect of state Uttarakhand. It was a melodious song and contained the essence of Uttarakhand. First time in my life, I was enjoying any such song such deeply. We started practicing after college hours. In total, we were 5 pairs. But Jitendra and I are new to this so-called dance group. But he had experience of 18 years of Bharat dance. So he was more comfortable than me. But give something a world attitude helped me. 2 weeks went in a jiffy. And then last 2 weeks was a real tough time. 2 pair left us because they felt our preparation was inadequate. Our event had also not satisfied with our preparation. But it's I didn't had any choice like in our engineering examination where I can skip few units and still pass the examination. We needed to be fully prepared. But finally, our hard work paid off and we successfully cleared the audition. Now, final day. Everything was prepared, but I was facing a mental challenge. I, who'd never opted a dance in my entire life, now will face a huge crowd. What if I forget a step? What if I'll not in sync? Or if I'll blank? Thousands of such negative thoughts striking my head. And then I heard my team name to be an ex-performer. My heart started pumping like a speed of jet plane. My legs were shaking. My friends understood the fear from my eyes. We saw each other for a while. Then we stepped onto the stage. First 10 seconds was something else. I was blank, just blank. Then I gradually got my senses back. It was a great feeling. It was a feeling of self-presence. I'm feeling transformation happening inside me. A boy who never took a step for a dance, now dancing on a stage in front of large crowd. It was a feeling of self-presence. And this whole process enchanted me. And I acquire a beautiful pearl of wisdom, which is any journey and each step that you took, any pilgrimage you get a little bit closer, not to the end, but to understanding yourself. And this entire journey gave me a lifelong lesson and experience. Life will offer what you ask for it. Take challenges and it will change you, which means no sweat, no sweet. If you have determination and support of your best buddies, then nothing is impossible. Anybody can dance. Thank you, Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankur, and indeed a great speech that you've delivered today. Thanks for that. We now pause for 2 minutes for giving the feedback to the speaker. I would request all to please drop a personal chat message to the speaker and let him know his feedback. Timer, please note the timing. It's 2 minutes break. Thank you, Toastmaster Akriti, for confirming on the time. Well, it's now time for us to move to the next speech of the day. So the next speaker will attempt Project 3, Level 2 from Pathways Manual, Innovative Planning. The mentor of the speaker is Toastmaster Mohit. I would request DTM Heyman to please read out the objectives for this project. Or Toastmaster Prabdeep. So anyone from the evaluation panel may please read the objectives.
Yeah, I know. So the objectives for Vinod's speech is the project title is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring, and the purpose of the project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. And the second purpose is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prabdeep. And for awareness of all, the time limit for each speech is 5 to 7 minutes. So, who is our next speaker? He's probably the most enthusiastic member of the club, a great mentor, and who is with logistics business for the last 33 years, and loves reading books, making new friends, and dancing. Well, I'd now like to hand over the stage to DTM Vinod Sharma, whose title of the speech is Be. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Be a good protege.
Yeah, be a good protege. Be a good protege, DTM Vinod. Over to you.
Can I see the timer cards? I am unable to see the timer.
You able to see now, DTM Vinod? Hello? You able to see now?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yes, you may start.
Do you know many battles fought on this world? Do you know battle between Kauravas and Pandavas was the one of the deadliest battle in this world? Kauravas was having double army than the Pandavas. Both the sides they used many tricks. But do you know Pandavas won the battle? Why? Lord Krishna was mentoring them. Lord Krishna is known as one of the best mentor, guru, and coach. Madam President, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, good morning. Mentor plays vital role in our life. We all have mentor in personal as well as professional life. I have many, but here I'll speak about two mentors. I joined Toastmasters in September 2014. On the very first day, I was called for the table topic. The topic given to me was my favorite movie. Friends, first day, first show was my hobby. I had many favorite movies, but on that particular day, I didn't speak more than a minute and was disqualified from the table topic contest, elections, voting rather. After a few days, I delivered my icebreaker. My legs were shaking. My throat was choking. I was totally nervous. I was moving from one corner to another corner of the stage. I completed my speech after 5 minutes. After the meeting, one of the Toastmaster Mohit Garg, invited me for fellowship. We met, we discussed about my goals I wanted to achieve in Toastmaster as well as in personal life. He said, Vinod, I'm ready to mentor you, but I have few suggestions for you. Number one, there is no shortcut for any success. Number 2, whatever you want to do, plan ahead, practice, do hard work and deliver. Number 3, don't afraid of doing mistakes. I was convinced what my mentor was saying. After a few days, I sent my draft speech via mail to my mentor. Within 2 days, I received reply from Mohit. After going through the speech, I thought Toastmaster Mohit Garg has supported a lot. He did the hard work. All the sentences in the speech was redlined, but very few words, they were not underlined with red ink. I called Mohit. Mohit, it is okay that I will go for the sentences which are underlined with red ink, but what should I do with the words which are not underlined? Shall I delete it? He said, "Arey sir, you retain those words and reframe all the sentences which are underlined in red." For me, it was a surprise. I was searching those words like we search needle in a haystack. Anyhow, this process goes on. I completed 7-8 speeches like this, and gradually I knew how to write the speech and deliver the speech. After 3 years, one day I told Mohit, it's almost 3 years. I have only completed 20 speech. After 6 months, I have main project in my logistic industries. So I want to complete 25 speeches in 6 months. I was excited. I had so many questions. Mohit Garg said, "Chill, Mar, chill." Friends, in our language, chill means eagle. So immediately I said, how can I kill the eagle? Eagle flies high. Mohit understood what I wanted to say. He said, "Sir, I will not advise you to kill the eagle, but I will advise you how to soar like an eagle. Think out of box. You are attending so many events, so many meetings, you are meeting governments, you are meeting clients. Whenever you meet anybody and if you see any incidents, write down those incidents in your diary. When you prepare your speeches, go through those incidents, apply those incidents in your speeches and complete." That was a great suggestion by my mentor. I did accordingly. I completed my 25 speeches in 6 months and became a DTM. Mohit Garg laid a strong foundation for me as far as the speeches are concerned. Friends, we all know that Toastmaster International have every year elections and new set of district officers, they take over from the current one. 2016, distinguished Toastmaster Anupriya Sinha. She was elected as a division director. I received a call that, "Vinod, I want you to become an area director." I said, "I don't know much about this role." She said, "I'll help you. I'll guide you how to do this role." There is a common thinking that we learn from our mistakes. I have different idea about this concept. My suggestion is, why we do mistakes when we plan well, practice well. So whatever you want to do, you plan well and deliver. Under her guidance, I chartered 5 clubs and declared as the best area director of Division C. These 2 mentors helped me a lot. As a protege, I enchanted by these 2 mentors. After 1 year, I became a director, division director, and chartered 11 clubs and declared a best division director in District 98. Friends, we all have mentors in life. We all have suggestions from life. But what is our responsibility? Dedication. As a mentor, as a protege, what I learned from these mentors, I want to give the same suggestion. One more suggestion I want to give, please ask many questions. Whatever you have doubt, you ask many questions, prepare your plan, work hard, because if there is no sweat, There is no sweet. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Amazing. No sweat, no sweet. A true story being delivered by Toastmaster Vinod, DTM Vinod. Let us now pause for 2 minutes to write the feedback for the speaker. You can write the feedback as a personal chat to the speaker. So please give feedbacks. Feedbacks are very helpful for the speakers to understand how did they perform and what better they can do the next time.
There is some background noise. I don't know, it's from home. I think Jai, from Jai, there is a lot of background voice, I think. Jai, try once again.
Hello. Now is it better?
Yes, it's better.
Perfect. Perfect.
Today I'll mute you till it starts, right? Timer, can we know the time, please?
It's 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Akriti. Well, it's time for us now to move to the third and the last speech for the day as part of our prepared speech session. Our third speaker will try to attempt Project 1 Level 3 from Pathways Manual Persuasive Speaking. I request to DTM Hemant from the evaluation panel to please read out the objectives of the project.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina. The objective of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. All the best, Toastmaster Jay.
Thank you, DTM Hemant. So the title of the speech is CRC. And the speaker, who has been the Toastmaster of the month for consecutive months, he's an engineer at Mercedes-Benz and likes to read and run. Well, he's none other than our own Toastmaster Jay. So Toastmasters, let's welcome Toastmaster Jay. Toastmaster Jay, CRC, CRC, Toastmaster Jay.
Thank you. Timer, could you please show the cards so that I can set it? Perfect. Perfect. Madam President and Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and lovely guests, very warm good morning. In our life, we learn essential skills from professionals, but we close our eyes to observe the people around us. Example, persuasive skill, which is very essential for us. I hope everyone sitting here is doing their best. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes not. Let us take as an example which helped me to improve my purchasing skill. Last year, I was in Pimpri market for shopping of 2 handbags. Market was full of crowd, lots of shops were there. But I had observed few shops were full of customers, others not. Since I was a curious person, I went inside 2 shops and spent some time. Let us give a name to these 2 shops. Higher sale shop Ambani and lower sale shop Kamani. Ambani was left side and Kamani was right side. My target was to buy 2 handbags within 3000 rupees. And in any case, I do not want to change my budget. However, I spent more because of that sales executive purchasing skill. Would you like to know what was special in him and how much more extra I paid? Let us see. First, I entered in shop Kamani. The first question was, "What do you want?" I said, "Ladies' handbag for my wife." He said, "Okay, sir, you can go upstairs. We have a large variety of handbags." I went upstairs. Yes, he was right. His shop was fully packed with lot of ladies' handbags. They had a very systematic way as well. First high budget, then medium, and then low budget. He asked me about my budget. I said around 1500 rupees. He showed me 7 options which were best suited in my budget. I chose one, paid the price, and after that left the shop. Everything was normal. It took 15 minutes approx, and I was on track. One bag, 1500 rupees. Perfect. Then I entered in shop Ambani. I inquired one of the sales executive, "I'm looking for a handbag for my wife." He said, "Yes, we have." Then I asked, "Should we go upstairs?" He said, "No, sir. Ground floor for women and top floor for men." Then he began to show different kinds of bags. Their shop was completely messed up with lot of varieties. There was no any system as well. High budget, low budget, medium budget. All were almost on the same rack. He had not even asked me about my budget. He showed me 2 bags and asked me size and choice. He again showed me 5 bags as per my choice, but he added 7 more bags in it as per his choice. They were in range between 800 to 4200. Now I said, I want a bag around 1500 rupees only. He again started to show me the same bags. Earlier he was showing me the features like zip, hooks and all, but now he was showing me the features with price. During that, he asked me several questions. Where are you working, sir? Is your wife homemaker or working? By asking so many questions, he developed connect with me. He also said, if I face any problem, I can call him and he would replace it even at home because he had a strong bonding with shop owner since 12 years. Yes, since 12 years, he was working in that shop. During that discussion, even I did not notice when I changed my range from 1500 to 1950. I finalized 1950 rupees bag at the place of 1500 only. Then he asked me, what do you want to see? We have a good range of wallets and bags. Then I purchased 1200 rupees wallet also. I spent approx 35 minutes and 3150 rupees in that Ambani shop. 200% extra as compared to my budget. And that happened because of sales executive, selling skill, purchasing skill. During both purchase, I got the answer why one shop was selling more and another shop no. Ambani shop was following a strategy where Kamani shop was miserably failed. Ambani was following a 3-step process. First, connect. For this, we should spend and ask questions. It will help us to create a common ground. Ambani was doing this by showing a lot of bags and asking several questions, and he achieved that step. Second, respect. They had messed up all budget bags in one rack. No discrimination. A person should not feel inferiority when he chose the bag. They also respected the woman by keeping their stuff on the ground floor and man on a second. That was the gesture of respect and giving preference. Third is the credibility. We all want to talk to high ranked people. His one line, since 12 years, I'm working in this shop, has given me that confidence. Yes, I was with a credible person who had the expertise in bags. We are following these rules in our clubs as well. Our Sergeant at Arm, Madam President, VP Education, they greet the guest and create a connect with them. Yes, our evaluation panel always respect because they know how much effort the speaker has put, because there is no sweat, no sweat. Our all mentors are on a higher level, which give them the credibility as they already gone through the same path on which their mentees are. Our all clubs are following this. Markets are following this. I hope next time, whenever you go for a shopping or join a Toastmaster meeting, you will surely notice these 3 steps strategy. Connect, respect, credibility. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Great speech, Toastmaster Jay, and I'm sure every shopkeeper would want a customer like you who spends more than his pocket and budget. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Jay, and let us now pause for 2 minutes to write the feedback for the speaker. You can write and send your feedback in the chat window privately to the speaker. Please note, feedbacks are very important for the speakers to improve on their skills. So do help them and do provide your feedbacks. Toastmaster Akriti, could you confirm the time?
Yeah, 2 minutes are done.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akriti. So now let's have the timers report. Toastmaster Akriti, can you give us the exact timings of all the 3 speeches and tell us who all are qualified for the Best Speaker Award?
Okay, so there were three speakers, and all of them could complete their speech on time, and so nobody is disqualified.
Would you like to tell us the exact timing? That will help us.
Yeah, Ankur completed his speech exactly on 5 minutes, Vinod at 7:20, and Jay took 7 minutes 25 seconds.
Okay, that's amazing. All the 3 speakers have qualified. I will now launch the poll for the best speaker. So please vote as per. We are still awaiting 3 of the members to please vote. One member left. Okay, so we will close the poll now. Okay, a quick time check. The time right now is 11:51 and we are absolutely on time. Okay, so we are in time. So let's have a break for 5 minutes and join back to see what our evaluation panel has to say. So yeah, we depart for 5 minutes from now. Thank you.
Hey, hello everyone. This is your table topic master. You can pass on if you're interested to be a part of table topic session.
ग्रेट सर. पवन सर, अगर आपने डिसाइड किया तो डेफिनेटली इट विल बी रियली वेरी नाइस.
Thank you.
We are
Let's see.
100% sure.
Thank you.
So, table topic master, I would love to go ahead. Okay.
Oh wow, Toastmaster Shalini is also with us.
Sure.
Oh, super. Last time we met again, I think in Others Club.
Which club?
It's a Toast West Club. Am I right? West?
Can I see your face? Who is speaking
Sure,
right
sure,
now?
sure.
I'm confused. Yes. We met. Okay.
So now you remember
I am,
me.
like,
It's
in the
perfect.
task of visiting many clubs as possible, trying to take back the positive side of the COVID. I don't know who is
Definitely. The people like you are always motivating others to go ahead, even in the worst case scenario.
Okay, thank you.
See,
I
I
remember
still
seeing it.
perfect.
Sajna, he's our next president-elect.
Thank you, Vinod sir. Thank you. Vinod sir,
You people are like super duper friendly, and I don't know. I'm really blessed to be here. Trust me. Like even the TMOD is a very familiar face. So like myself and my friends were like, we have seen her somewhere. We have seen her, but I don't know where.
It's a Toastmaster family, ma'am. Each and every family member know each and everyone, so it's very easy.
And thanks for Corona. Like before, like only the between the countries they knew. Now worldwide they know.
See, Vinod sir, I'm saying now there are people who are saying thanks to Corona itself, and we have one more with us.
Now I would say a very big thank you because trust me, this has brought a massive change in everyone's life.
Definitely, ma'am.
Because like come on, previously before Corona, no one would be willing to do a speech in front of the laptop.
Yeah, definitely. No one likes it, but right now everyone is doing it.
Right now, everyone are like, and they have understood the positive impact of this virtual life also.
Correct, and that's the biggest thing, na, madam. In today's scenario, we are global, Everyone is working on the laptop from Germany, America, each and every corner of the world. And whenever they are doing it virtually. There is nothing like
True, true,
physical.
true.
So that,
We get this.
yeah, that's a special thing which we can learn here.
Like, I don't know, like, because even me as an example, I like our meetings are hybrid meetings where like once it will be completely online, one meeting
Yeah.
will be hybrid, physical and online too, because our club has more members outside the country.
Oh wow.
Something, and like me, I never wanted to do an online speech, but right now because of this corona, I'm used to this.
Yeah, definitely no one likes it, but everyone has to do this. Reason being, if you are working with a German company or a US company, then you have to do virtual only. Company will not allow you to travel again and again. Even if it's your company, then you will not allow your employees to go again. Am I
True,
right?
true, true, true.
Yeah,
It's all in the process of learning and adapting, right?
definitely, definitely. We should be agile to learn the new technologies.
Because life is not exactly in our comfort zone, right?
Sure,
Only when we come out of it, we explore things.
definitely, ma'am, definitely. You're 100% right. And with that attitude, we can go ahead only. So yeah, Toastmaster Dhaval, are you here? Toastmaster Dhaval?
Havan,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
तुमने ब्रेक
Yeah.
दिया है बेचारे को, ब्रेक में तो कम से कम चाय पी लेने दो.
Sir,
अरे नहीं, I was on mute. I was doing some other work, so I'm here. How are you guys?
I am good. I thought I remind you the pending topic which we currently going on.
Yeah. I have to.
Do you
send it to
remember?
Yes, I do.
No need to worry. I will keep reminding you. Then you will remember me very well. That's the
No,
person who
true.
never left the people.
Absolutely. Yes, I will do that. I'll do that today for sure.
Hi, Dhaval, good morning.
Vinod sir, how are you? Long time.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nishu ma'am is also with us. Great. Good afternoon. Oh, good morning, madam. How are you, ma'am? It's really a pleasure to meet once again to you. We can't hear you, ma'am.
ब्रेक लिया होगा निशु मैम ने.
No, ma'am.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, Toastmaster Akriti, could you confirm us on the time, please?
Great.
Yes, otherwise our
Yeah,
socializing will
yeah, it is
continue.
11:50.
Definitely. Let's go ahead. Thank you all.
Sorry,
Yeah, we took break at 11:51, so here the time is 11:57, so we have crossed 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you everyone, and hope you've all joined back. Our life is basically like a railway engine. You have the engine in the start, and all the the phases of your life are different boxes of the train. Now, for every phase of our life, we have someone to thank for. Right from the time we were born till the time we join our college, the officers, and now the Toastmasters. Now, let's have some chit chat on whom are we thankful for in any of the phases of our life. So, shall we start from someone? Toastmaster Nishu, would you like to take this stage today as the place where you can thank someone for whom you feel real gratitude?
Yeah, I would like to say gratitude. I would like to feel gratitude about my parents because of we are here. So I learned so many values from them. So I'm grateful that I have a wonderful parents.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you, Toastmaster Nishu. Toastmaster Prabdeep, which phase of your life would you be thankful for, and whom do whom do you feel gratitude for that phase of your life? Of course, every phase is important, but then we have some special.
The phase of my life which I find most, I'm inclined to be grateful for was the time when I started making money. Wow. Because that gave me independence to do everything which I wanted to do. And thus I am grateful for the companies, for the capitalistic scenario that we have here.
That's the real gratitude, that we all have Been through. Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. Dr. Vinoda. Whomsoever's the video I see, I'll call upon. Okay, so keep your videos on.
Yeah, I'm thankful for everything because I started practicing this gratitude, thanking each and everything from morning to evening. So it makes us to practice gratitude and to be grateful for whatever we have, and we'll be happy if you practice this and things happen good. So I thank for my parents, thank for the teachers, and thank all those who have done something bad to you also, because of that you have done means something good happened.
Totally, totally. People who criticize are actually trying to, better you.
Yes.
Totally agree. Toastmaster Shazna, over to you. Whom do you feel gratitude for in
My
every
first
aspect of your
gratitude
life?
goes to people who told me that I can't do it. For example, the person who told me you can't do a speech is why I did a speech. A person who told me you can't study this is why I did it. So the ones who told that I can't do something is one of the top priorities of mine to show gratitude. I'll be always thankful for what they are, because it is me right now because who they were there.
Agree. Totally agree.
They are the best people, they are the best people to motivate you people. The
And they
ones who
care
say
for
you
you, no?
can't do it are the ones who keep ladders for you to climb up ahead.
Right. They care for you. They find you so important that they, invest time in what wrong you are doing. DTM.
Did you take my name?
Yes, I did take your name.
I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I thank winter, I thank summer, I thank rain, I thank everything, man, everything. Earth, sky, that distant relative who calls me on my birthday still, and that close relative who calls at 12 a.m. Sometime I still get friends coming to my home on my birthday at 12. So that's like, अभी तो लगता है कोई आएगा नहीं, but they still appear from some place. So thanks to everything, every single thing that is helping me uh, live my life.
Right, right. Absolutely. Okay, Toastmaster Swati, would you like to share your gratitude feeling or someone whom you would like to, acknowledge today?
Right. Okay. I think it's a bit funny thing, but I thank people who don't like me because they force them to like me at the end of the conversation. So that is very challenging to make people who don't like you at the end of the conversation. So I like that. And even what Shaz has told is absolutely right. The people who always criticize you, they are the best people in your life. You should actually thank such people who don't like you and who criticize you always.
Absolutely. So basically, we at times we cry that I don't have this, I don't look like that, or I wish I had that. But I was listening to a speech, and that time, what they said was, the moment you start feeling that you don't have this, or your glasses are not of the color that you wanted for, think of the people who are actually wishing that they had a life like you have. So let's be thankful for everything that we have in our life. And as Hemant just said, right? Thank the winters also because they make you feel happy. Thank the summers also; they help the grains and the farmers happy. So let's be thankful for everything that we have in our life. And with this, I will take the session ahead. We now have evaluation panel who was actually evaluating the speeches that were delivered by our speakers today. And as part of the evaluation panel, we have DTM Hemant Arora, we have Toastmaster Manish Kumar, and Toastmaster Prabdeep Singh. DTM Hemant, who is running the IT operations for a cyber defense company and who likes reading, traveling, anchoring, and whatnot. And he's also fond of writing poems. So yeah, we will try to give Hemant to read a poem for us today, if time allows us. Okay, moving on to our next panelist as part of the evaluation panel, we have Toastmaster Manish, who is an entrepreneur and likes to play chess and badminton. Toastmaster Prabdeep, our next panelist on the evaluation panel, is a software professional and who likes to write, read, and loves to play music. Toastmaster Pradeep has always, as part of our XCOM also, he's played a great role in giving us some important feedbacks and bringing out our scorecard as well. I would now hand over the stage to Toastmaster Pradeep, who can actually take the evaluation panel ahead. Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Pradeep.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina. So as per our evaluation schema, we will evaluate, the three of us evaluators will evaluate the speeches on three different criterias. So the first, that is me, I will evaluating the language or the content of the speech, and the next evaluator will tell what they are going to evaluate. So I will evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Ankur. So what we'll do is we'll evaluate each of the speeches one after another. So we all three will give the evaluation feedback for Ankur, and then we will give for the Toastmaster Vinod, and then at the end for Toastmaster Jay. So let's start with the evaluation of Toastmaster Ankur. So as I was evaluating the language of Toastmaster Ankur, I found that the language he used was full of metaphors and visually descriptive language that he used. His forte, or I must say his skill, lies in how he can portray the incidents visually and emotionally in front of the audience. Right at the beginning, he used metaphors like Chinese phone for his friend, which he wanted to convey as loud and unusable. Then he also, in the same vein, uh, described his friend as Pune monsoon, which is unstoppable. And then he keep on giving metaphors like cricketers, based like MS Dhoni, Suresh Raina, and there were so many similes and metaphors in his speech that made it very emotionally evocative. And secondly, the incidents with which he described, the language which he used, like when he went on the dance floor and he started dancing, I could actually see what was happening on the dance floor. He was nervous, and then he did what he wanted to do, and at the end everything went well. So that was the power of language which Toastmaster Ankur employed very well in his speech. So he definitely has a poncho for the language. So that was the positive point. So now let's move on to the recommendation that I would like to give Toastmaster Ankur regarding the content. I would have one recommendation for him, that is the speed at which he gave the information was very fast. So when your language is replete with metaphors and similes and so much description, you have to narrate it slowly, because the audience's mind is listening to those information for the first time, and they have to be given some time to process that information, all those comparisons that you are making. So that also reflected how, in 5 minutes you completed your speech. You were like barely on the mark of getting qualified. So just delivery, on the delivery part, keep it slow, and everything else was fine. That was regarding the language. I will now move on to the next evaluator, that is Toastmaster Hemant. So Toastmaster Hemant.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Prabdeep, and spot on. I think, yes, a lot of metaphors and a lot of, really visualized words that we could really relate with. And what I really loved about your speech, Toastmaster Ankur, is how relatable it was. So you spoke about Jadeja, you brought Dhoni, you brought Suresh Raina, then, that friend who is so irritated about his own achievement. We all have that friend in our life, right? Then, sitting on college staircase and thinking about something, we all have done that. So the speech was so much relatable, and I think you appealed with humor and emotions. A lot of humor that Pradeep already spoke about, plus emotion, those 10 seconds when you were blank. And I'm sure off stage or on stage, each one of us have experienced those 10 seconds when we are blank about which step to make, when we are dancing. So or we are singing on stage. So I think a lot of us might have gone through that experience. So great job. And from the structure perspective, I think you started really well with, helping us visualize that you're sitting on college in college staircase and thinking about something, and then you moved to took us through the entire journey when you organized that dance show, and then you ended with what was your takeaway from this experience. So really well structured speech. uh, Recommendations perspective, from the perspective of objective, because you have to use you have to take feedback from the first speech and use it in the second one. You did use word of the day and phrase of the day very appropriately, so that is very good. Recommendation, so I could not so this is my personal feeling that presentation slides were unnecessary. Slides did not add any value to your overall presentation, based on what I feel, because I think your words are visual enough for us to not have slide at all. So that is one. Use slides when they are really necessary, or when they're carrying a message which is powerful for audience. Another uh, thing that I would recommend you is, if you can describe your characters, because when you describe that friend, we still cannot visualize him. We still don't know whether he has a mustache like me or he is bald like Prabdeep. We don't know that. So it actually helps us connect with the characters more when you help us visualize it. So I think that part will just take your speech to a different level altogether. Otherwise, very relatable, appropriate structure, and use of POD and WOD as per the feedback that you received in last speech. Just as appropriate use of PPT, whether you really need it or not. And second is describe your characters. I think you will reach the next level. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Prabdeep, for the next speech of Toastmaster Vinod.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Hemant. So for the first speech, we two evaluators were only there to evaluate. So unfortunately, Manish was not. He joined late. So for the next speaker, all three will evaluate the speeches of the next three evaluators. So the next speech was by Toastmaster Vinod. So we'll follow the same format. I'll be commenting on the content. Manish will be commenting on the delivery, and Hemant will be commenting on the overall structure. So Toastmaster Vinod, be a dedicated protege. As the title said it all, we knew what was coming, and as usual, Toastmaster Vinod delivered. The thing that I personally like about Toastmaster Vinod's speeches in general is the comprehensibility and the conversation tone. So the two things which I like the most about his speeches is the comprehension and conversational tone. By comprehension, I mean his language is simple and straightforward. And that's what it makes his speeches memorable, because when the language is simple, people remember your speeches very well. I can actually quite tell the speech almost verbatim. I can recite it, how he started with Lord Krishna as an example, and how he became he joined Toastmaster and then became protege, and he had two mentors in his life, and then the conclusion part. So because of the language was very simple, I could really remember what he said, and that's a huge plus. Actually, not every time you have to use a decorative language. You can do the work with simple language also. So the second thing that I liked the most was conversational tone. When you're delivering a speech, I always feel, Toastmaster Vinod, that you're talking to me, and I think everyone else will also agree that as if you are talking one-to-one with the people in the audience. So that creates a lot of intimacy. So that is also a plus point about your language. So the recommendation which I would like to give you is that, apart from the grammatical mistakes that you can work on, is to include variety in your speech. By variety, I mean the tone. There's certain characteristics to the language. The tone of the language should vary. In the initial example, the very first example you gave about Lord Krishna should be discursive in nature. It should sound like that you are telling something epic. And then you moved on to your personal story. It should sound like it should be intimate and personal to you. And then the conclusion part should actually sound like that you're actually giving a takeaway. That's why the humor in your speech did not work very well, because throughout the speech you followed the same kind of tone for the language. So vary that tone, uh, put some more emotion behind your words. So that will make it much better. And yeah, that's the only recommendation that I have. Just work on the grammatical mistakes too. You know what where you fell short for that. I would not, actually go forward and tell them, because you know it. So that's all from my side, and over to you, Toastmaster Hemant.
I think Manish will go first, and I'll conclude and do structure. Go ahead, Manish.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. Thank you, Prabdeep. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. So, good afternoon, or is it good morning yet? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Manish, and I'll be so to DTM Vinod's speech, as you already know, are going to be evaluated by 3 people. I'm one of those, and one of those 3 people, and I'm going to evaluate it. I'm going to evaluate the delivery part of his speech. So let's begin straight away. So, Vinod, sir, always a pleasure listening to you and your speeches. So, let me first off say that you have mastered something that we call the art of storytelling. Whenever you speak, and whenever, especially when it is a story, and it was a personal story today that you shared with us, it truly engages and entertains the audience. So, when it comes to delivery, I think the most important part that we consider was the delivery synchronous with the message that the speaker was trying to communicate or convey to the audience. And I think it was, and that I think is an attribute that I think we can all learn from you. So well done there. So how you do it? So let's just try to highlight a few points here. Okay, first of all, some hygiene factors. The camera setup was perfect. I mean, you were very well aware where the camera is and where you are sitting. So I think you are well aware of the environment that you are presenting your speech in. So that's a very good sign. Your voice was very clear and very sincere, and of course your enthusiasm about your passion about the message, about the story. It was just it rubs off, it wears off the audience, and it just shows. I mean, I was glued to my screen listening to you all the time, and that's the effect that you bring in. So I think in terms of delivery, well, there was no major red flags, Vinod sir. I think I don't see any real challenges in terms of delivery for you. I think, but there are a few things you can do to improve your delivery and make it more impactful to your audience. So first of all, I think the pauses were missing. I think pause is a very important tool in a speaker's tool shed if you want to really create that effect in while you're speaking. So I think there were several opportunities where you could have used the pauses. I'll give you an example. When you suddenly move 3 years forward in your speech, you said that you talked about your first icebreaker speech and how Mohit had underlined a lot of sentences, and then suddenly you went on to 3 years ahead. And what happened in 3 years, we don't know. So that was a perfect opportunity to take a pause, because there was an inflection point. What do I mean by inflection point? Some major change was going on. You had already passed 3 years in Toastmasters. Take a pause. 3 years had passed, and I think that establishes a connect. And if you don't do it, the logical connect somehow can be missed, and that can lose your audience, and you don't want that as a speaker. And second is, I think in the opening you had a strong chance to grab the attention where you missed it, as Prabdeep also mentioned. When you're talking about Lord Krishna being mentor of Pandavas, I think it was very bland. I mean, I think you could have started with something wise that Lord Krishna said to Arjun, and that actually could have been a thread that is very critical to your whole speech, and then you could have summed it up in the end, and that would have been perfect logical conclusion, opening and conclusion bind together with one single thread. So I think that these are some of the elements that you can work on to make your delivery more colorful. And I think apart from that, I don't have much to add. So it was a wonderful speech and a lovely message. So thank you, Vinod sir, and over to you, Hemant.
Yes, thank you, Prabdeep and Manish. So I think there is, probably some sort of force which is working. So all three of us are aligned for some reason, which is not good for a healthy, evaluation. But anyway, uh, great speech again. Storytelling and structure wise, you started with that example of Kaurava and Pandava, the biggest battle of so far, and you describe your mentors. You told their name. You also narrated experience related to each one of your mentor. So all of that was very relatable, very chronological, except for what Manish said. The 3 years that got missing. One particular feedback that I have is around speech objective. So speech objective was twofold: how Toastmaster envisions mentoring and your personal experience as protege. So I think you met 80% of it. How Toastmaster envisions mentoring did not come out very evidently. So that's something which could have come out if you kind of related what Lord Krishna did and how Toastmaster overall envisions the mentoring. We understood the mentoring style of Mohit and Anupriya, but what is the mentoring from Toastmaster perspective? So that's something which is one thing that I have for you. Otherwise, as Pradeep and Manish already mentioned, you have your recommendation, your high point storytelling, and your high point that you talk in a very layman language so everybody remembers it. Apart from it, I think everything was best. Thank you. All the best, Toastmaster Vinod. Over to you, Toastmaster Pradeep, for starting with Jay's evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hemant. So let's move on to the next speaker, Toastmaster Jay. So as usual, I'll start with the evaluation of the language and content. CRC. I don't know I am follow the CRC approach with Jay or not. So let's try to at least do the CR. Toastmaster Jay, the highlights of your speech as per the language were that you use simple and effective language, your storytelling, and emotions. The three things that I found the best in your speech were the language, the simple and effective language, the layman language. I think none of us had any problem understanding any of the word you said. It was not forced. You did not actually, it sounded very natural. The way we talk in life in general, it did not sound very over the top or flashy or bombastic. It was very natural and very well delivered. So the language was simple and yet effective. And the second thing that I found with your speech was storytelling. You have always been a good storyteller, and you can actually, the caricature of your characters, you can actually bring forward with your words alone. So I could actually feel there were two kind of Ambani and Kimani wholesalers were there in your speech, and I could actually feel how they were interacting with you. So that was the power of language. The storytelling, the way you do it is quite good. And the emotions, of course, the emotions, as you are very expressive person, you use gestures and you stand behind the camera, and we could see how your emotions on your face with your hands and shoulders. So the emotions gelled well with the words which you were using. So these three things were absolutely fantastic. And also, as per the objective, that you were going to give a speech on persuasion, and the three things which were mentioned in the objective of Toastmaster is to use ethos, pathos, and logos. And similarly, you reframed those words into your own terminology, like connect, respect, and credibility. And that was a good thing you did with the language. And moving on to the recommendation which I would like to give you is that apart from the grammatical errors, those, listen to your speech again when it will be uploaded on YouTube, and you will know what were the grammatical errors. The other thing that I would like to point out, that is your conclusion was a bit weak. It was quite, I think it was unrelated to the speech. You moved into the sphere of Toastmaster and how Toastmasters works for you, and how you can implement things you learned from Toastmaster, which was a little bit unrelated to the persuasion topic which you were elaborating upon. And in the same way, I would also like to say that your speech objective was to persuade the audience, not to give an account of persuasion itself. So the objective were a bit, you lag behind with the meeting of the objectives. So the conclusion was not actually, aligned with your speech, and thus the account which you gave about persuasion was also not, inclined as per the objective. You have to actually persuade the audience, not to give an account of the persuasion. But anyways, I really like the language you used, the simple and effective language. Keep working on the English and your, the transitions and the conclusion of your speech and, overall structure. I think Hemant will elaborate upon that a little bit more. So overall, it was a good speech and there is room for improvement. Keep aware of keep learning English language and don't make so many grammatical mistakes the next time, and have the structure well of your speech. Thank you, and I will hand over to the next evaluator, Toastmaster Manish, I think.
Yeah, hi Prabdeep. Thank you, Prabdeep, and hello Jay. So again, it was a pleasure listening to you, Jay. And so let's just straight away dive into the delivery part of your speech. So first of all, hygiene factors, Jay, you have a very good understanding of the stage. I mean, this is something that you have developed over time, I think, being in Toastmasters. So you have a very good understanding of stage. You know how to present yourself when you're on a stage. What are the hygiene factors that you need to take care of? How to make sure that everything is synchronized. So I could not find a single note in your body language that went off. That was off with your speech. That was off from your speech. So well done. I mean, you stood up. First of all, very well done. I mean, even though it was a virtual meeting, I really appreciate the fact that you chose to deliver your speech standing up, because that is, I think, ideally the way a speaker should present himself, and that also keeps a speaker on alert, consciously, subconsciously. So good choice there. And again, your energy is something that is just so infectious. It just changes the frequency of the entire room, the virtual room here in this case. So your energy is something that you always bring. So kudos to that. Your energy is always inspiring. And it was a good story. So you connected well. Now let's see, when it comes to delivery, we always talk about how you could have connected well with the audience. So let's see what you could have done to improve the connection with the audience. So first of all, again, as I said to Vinod sir, also the pauses were totally missing. So, and especially, so for example, I'll take an example again at the conclusion. I mean, probably because of the red card or something, you rushed the conclusion. It totally took the effect. You just ruined the conclusion, if I may say so. You said that respect, credibility. Over to you, Toastmaster. No, that's not how we conclude the speech. Conclusion is the most important, most powerful part of a speech. You have to pause there, take a break. Even if you're talking about some high ethical values, respect, credibility, just let that sink in. Take a pause there. Don't, even if you've crossed the time, don't worry about it. That your time finishing in time is not a primary job as a speaker. Your primary job is to leave the audience with something to think about. So take a pause there, and then some other places also there, but I think you get the idea. And so that's very important. And I think in the opening you missed the hook. You had an opportunity to grab the attention of the audience, but I think you started with good morning, Toastmasters. Now, that's not very important. That can come later. But first of all, in the first 5 to 7 seconds, I think you must always try to grab the attention of the audience by telling something very interesting that will actually, have them engaged. And you want to work probably on your word selection, because you don't want the audience to lose you again. So for example, when you said I ended up spending more than I have budgeted because of the purchasing skill of the sales manager at a month. Purchasing skill, I mean, who's purchasing here? You, right? Not him. So probably it's, I mean, obviously we can all interpret that it's a normal mistake, but as a speaker, your job is to make sure that every word is precise. An audience, because even if one member loses you there because of the failure to connect logically, I think you are not successful as a speaker. So I think word selection is very important, pauses, and the hook in the opening. I think these are the things that you can work on. Apart from that, I think you have a very solid understanding of how to deliver a speech. So not much there. Well done. Over to you, Hemant.
Thank you, guys. You covered it all. I thought I'll finally get to evaluate objective, but that's also covered. So yeah, I kind of echo with what Pradeep said. Uh, Persuasive skill is about persuading the audience to follow or talk about a particular way of philosophy or thought process, uh, and not really presenting an example of persuasion. That is more of a presenting the content of persuasive speech project. But yeah, what I loved is again pimpri market, shopkeepers, Ambani, Kabani, starting with proper chronological fashion, that first this happened and then I did this purchase and then okay. So on the hint side, I actually love the way you connected it to Toastmaster, contrary with what Prabdeep feels, because I think that makes a speech very relatable when you present a very relatable example of Toastmasters, because all of us know what we do and why this community exists. So I kind of love that piece of connecting with Toastmasters. CRC, yes, it was, I don't know what was coming, but yeah, connect, respect, and credibility. So yeah, makes a lot of sense in terms of what persuasion is all about. Two people in our club can bring stories from any area of their life, Pavan and Jay. So I think we'll keep hearing daily stories in the form of this entire project. So yeah, I mean, I don't have those skills, but I congratulate you guys for having those skills for converting a story of purchasing a purse and converting into a full-fledged project of 7 minute speech. So yeah, not everybody can do that. I think you're already aware of your strength, you're already aware of your weaknesses, and we spoke about your high points and we spoke about what you could do to improve it. I think once you implement these, some of the recommendations that we gave, of course, you are going to give more speeches next year, right, in 2021. So make sure that you make use of that time. All right, thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Hena. And thank you for giving us opportunity to be your evaluation panel for today.
Thanks a lot. Well, evaluations help us determine what has worked well and what could be improved in our next projects. And of course, our all thanks to the evaluation panel here today, all the panelists for such a descriptive evaluation. And while you were evaluating the speakers, we've also taken our bit and our learnings from those evaluations, which we promise to incorporate in our coming speeches. Thanks a lot. And for since we had an evaluation panel today, we will not be having the voters for voting for evaluators. So yeah, we will now move on to our next section, and which is our table topics. Our table topic master today, he's a software. He loves listening to ghazals, reads a lot, and tries to experiment in the kitchen. So over to you, our table topic master, Toastmaster Pavan.
Master of the
Master,
Toastmasters. Hello, can you
there's
hear
a
me?
delay in your network, so there's a little lag. Be a little slow. I think
Okay,
that
just a minute. Can you hear me now? I just switched off.
not that good.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Why don't one of us take the topics and get started?
Yes, I think we should.
Network.
Toastmaster Pavan, would you like to
Yeah.
share the
On to you.
You are not at all audible. We are sorry.
Toastmaster.
Maybe Toastmaster Pavan, if you can actually share your um, topics over personal chat with Not here, not on the role players group, Manpreet, because
Sorry,
like
I was trying to ping somebody.
Toastmaster Pawan, you can just direct me chat, just DM me the chat, and I'll start with the table topics session. He's not able to hear us. Okay, I think we have a gap from Toastmaster Pawan. So why not we start with our table topic session today, and by the time Toastmaster Pawan takes in, he will rejoin us. So who's, I would like to see which hands were raised up. Shazana, Shazna, you would like to, yeah, for sure. So I will
Can
give,
I attempt one?
yes, Shazna, sure. Give me a minute. I'll give you a table topic.
What
Uh,
happened to our topic?
I sent you the table topic topics for the table topic session. Have you received on the chat? This is Pawan here.
Pawan, you are audible also now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, you can take it over, please.
Yeah. So table topic session will help us to think on our feet, and there will be 1 minute timing for the table topic speaker to speak, minimum 1 minute, maximum they can speak for 2 minutes. I'll give you one hint. So when a topic is given to you, just think for a moment. You have 30 seconds to think over it, and I'll tell you one secret. You can approach, you can deal the table topic subject in PERS manner. P is a point, E is example or experience that you have with that particular point or subject. R is repeat, and while concluding, just summary what you are doing. So this is a small say secret of table topic session. Now let's straight away get started. We have our first table topic speaker, Toastmaster Shazna. And Toastmaster Shazna, I would like you to close your eyes for a moment and think for 3 celebrities to whom would you like to invite in a Thanksgiving party, and why?
Okay. 3 celebrities whom I would love to invite. From your terms, can anyone say me whom you consider a celebrity is? Can anyone say me whom you consider a celebrity is? Anyone?
Famous person?
I hear pardon?
Sports player.
Famous.
Okay. So most
Somebody
of
who's famous.
famous, a very good player and stuff. But in my terms, I consider a person as a celebrity is a person who brings changes in others' life, who make sure their presence influences a person's life to become better. The one celebrity I would choose to invite as a chief guest is myself. Whom on earth will trust us more than we trusting ourselves? That is one reason why I would choose myself. Second celebrity whom I would choose will be my mother, because she is the person who bore such a wonderful lady. Come on, I am great. And imagine my mom should be even greater, right? So second celebrity would be my mom. And third celebrity, I have to think about it. If it was in future, maybe I would choose my boyfriend. But badly, I don't have one at the moment. But anyways, 3 celebrities which I would choose would not be people who are very quite famous everywhere in the entire world. But the celebrities whom I would choose would be people who have brought a very good impact, a positive change in my life, so that I have the confidence that they can bring a positive impact in others' lives too. Because like getting an opportunity is something like having hold of a diamond. You should make sure you use it the maximum. Our life is always not what we expect it to be. Like, we are enchanted with a lot of wonderful stuffs in this world. And we should never stop somewhere, because all of us belong not to something extraordinary, but not to something ordinary, but to something extraordinary. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I don't know how many of y'all would consider yourself as a celebrity, but I believe in myself that I am one of the topmost celebrity I know. And I am 200% confident enough that in the future, I would become a better celebrity than Corona. Because, trust me, people, the only word which you hear frequently these days, other than your name, could be termed as Corona. So, my dream, my hope is to become a little bit, a little bit greater famous than the term Corona. Because everyone thinks Corona brought negative impacts. But me, I consider it is something which brought positivity in my life and in everyone's life. And no wonder where my timer is. But considering and hoping that I am a celebrity, so you all would consider me to be qualified enough, I am handing over the controls back to the table topic master. Thank you for the opportunity to make myself a celebrity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shazna. That was a really enchanting speech. Do we have Toastmaster Umar?
Yes.
Toastmaster Umar, do you love reading books?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So here is a topic for you, Toastmaster Umar. Which book are you most thankful for reading?
Which book am I most thankful for reading? Okay.
And why, of course.
Hello, Toastmasters and dear guests. Which book do I like to read the most and why? Over the past few years, I've read quite a lot of books, but lately I have not been. But the time that I was reading few books, I think one of the most books that I would enjoy and I like the most would be a book called Reclaim Your Heart by Yasmine. She's an author from the USA who goes on speaking on the book about the challenges, the struggles, the obstacles that we face in life, and how you can potentially bring yourself out of the shackle in order to live life to the best, to the fullest, and to experience and live in every moment. One of the main reasons that I liked the book was the way the author pins down every single point, the way she eloquently points and pins down her chapters. There were about 14 chapters, if I'm not mistaken, and she picks on each chapter based on personal experience. Again, that way that the readers can connect to the author and they can feel a connection. And while I was reading the book, I found that I had a personal connection to the author, where she spoke about many life examples that she stated in the book. And I really think that that is something that resonated with me, where I could actually connect and feel that the book was having an impact on me. In a chapter of that book called Reclaim Your Heart, she goes on speaking about the storm and the wave of life, how things come at you at one go, like the wave. But you need to be able to take it slow and steady and pick out each obstacle one by one and to handle it in the best manner that you can always do. Once again, one of the reasons that I loved the book so much was that she used a lot of personal examples. She has structured it in a way that I really can connect, and the way that she eloquently writes the book, the structure, the grammar, the poetry, and so forth. It's something that I always could connect and would always go back to reading. Now, I have read that book over 3 to 4 times in the last few years, and recently just started reading it again. And I have shared it with a few of my friends who have loved the book. And that is and the end. Over to you.
Thank you, Abhishek. I would love to hear more about the book. Can you please pass on the link for the book on the chat window if you have available?
Yes,
Thank
I
you very
will
much.
try to get the link and send it. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have spotlighted Toastmaster Dr. Vinoda? Toastmaster Dr. Vinoda, you will be our next table topic speaker. And your topic is which career field do you think workers are not thanked enough and why? Which career field do you think workers are not thanked enough and why? Toastmaster Dr. Vinoda.
Good afternoon, all. Yes, I always felt the workers, usually the fourth class workers in a technical field. For example, you take a plumber or you take any fourth class people, whatever work they're doing, I was never satisfied because the mentality of them is completely different. We say no work attitude because they just want to do some work in that as minimum work and get away with that. If you take a maid servant, they will just superficially do the work. Rarely we find anybody who's really interested in doing their proper job. For example, yesterday the plumber came. See, he has got very limited knowledge. Means they will do more harm than good. So I think we in India we are lacking that knowledge to be given to these fourth class people because they are all just come to work by experience. They see somebody working because there is no proper education for them. Always I felt what we can do about this. We have to just motivate and educate, train and train and train. That is the one thing, so that we can improve the work of all these class 4 professional means workers. Over to you, TTM.
Thank you, Dr. Vinoda. And I would like to thank Toastmaster Manpreet as well, indirectly nominating Abhishek Negi for the table topic session. So Abhishek, are you there? And if possible, can you switch on your audio as well as video? Yeah, we can see you. Abhishek, the topic for you is what would be a fun way to show gratitude to our friends? What would be a fun way to show our gratitude to friends? Toastmaster Abhishek.
So I think yeah, so I think it is important to show gratitude to our friends because most of the time they stay with us. I mean, the friends are who are with us whenever our good and bad time. And most of the time when we think about our showing gratification and gratitude, we think about either giving some gift or just saying thank you. But I think the most important thing is we should, I mean, the way I will work on this is to show what really friendship is. And it is all about helping each other in both their good and bad times. Uh, First of all, I mean, it's not about always there will be such situation. We should help each other to grow. At the same time, we should always stay with them. I mean, in their life. Uh, yeah, that is it.
Thank you, Toastmaster. And with that, the table topic session. Speaking point is over. May I request the timer Toastmaster Akruti to just say whether all the speakers have qualified for the voting of the best topic speaker or not.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So the first table topic speaker was Toastmaster Shazna. She took 3 minutes 30 seconds. Then Toastmaster Umar took 2 minutes 40 seconds. Toastmaster Vinoda took 1 minute 40 seconds, and Abhishek took 58 seconds.
Okay. So that Toastmaster Shazna and Toastmaster Umar are not qualified for the best table topic speaker because they have overshoot the time. So may I request Toastmaster of the day to launch the poll for the best table topic speaker for Toastmaster Dr. Vinoda and Toastmaster Abhishek.
Yes, Toastmaster Pavan, I'm launching the poll. So the first two, please don't vote there. They were actually for Shazna and Umar. So please vote for TM Vinoda and TM Abhishek.
Just a second. Let me reconfirm. Toastmaster Akruti, Toastmaster Umar took how much time? I heard it's 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Yeah, he took 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you. We are good now. Please cast your vote.
Four people remaining. Maybe please request all to vote. Okay, we are good to close the poll. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, everyone. You are being a wonderful audience. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavan, for conducting a very curious table topic session today. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Swati to present her early report. Over to you, Toastmaster Swati.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. And let me just start with applauding the people who have used the word of the day and the phrase of the day. The word of the day has been used by DTM Heyman, Toastmaster Hina, Toastmaster Shasna, and Toastmaster Pavan. And the phrase of the day has been used by DTM Heyman, Toastmaster Hina, Toastmaster Ankur, DTM Vinod, and Toastmaster Jay. So a huge round of applause to all of them who had successfully used the word of the day and the phrase of the day. Kudos. And when it comes to the not so good usage, I didn't find much of not so good usage, but there are few general grammar tips which I would like to give with related to not so good usage. That is like usage of words like, as always, because like and as always can be used to the similar audience, but if the audience doesn't know the context and if they're hearing that for the first time, they can use a different methods of using it, but not like and as always. And there are a few more things. My two mentors, it can be used as both mentors. Purchasing always, it can be used as always purchasing. So these are few things which I've noted down, but overall meeting, there were simple sentences which were used and there was nothing much complex grammatic mistakes which were done. So kudos and great job to everyone. And when it comes to good usage, there are few good terms and usages which we are aware of, but we don't use in our regular meetings. That is dilemma in a confused stage, self-realization, that is identifying themselves, Prodigy, a student who is unusually good at something. Kill the ego or kill the anxiety. Put more emotions to your words. Add more feelings to your words. Rub off shoulders, that means add it to the context. Bombasting, that is over the verdict or out of verdict. So that's it from my end. And when it comes to the tip, grammarian tip of this week, as I could see it is related to the meetings. There were not many grammatic mistakes, but because people have added two simple sentences and tried to make it into a complex sentence by using and, but, if that could have been avoided and simple sentences have been used, I think that would enhance the speech and that would even simplify the speech and it will be easy for the audience to understand. That's it from my end. And over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swati, for a descriptive report. Now we will have the R counter report. And for that, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Manpreet to present the report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina. Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, a very good afternoon to everybody. I am Toastmaster Manpreet, the R counter for today's meeting. The purpose of an R counter is to note any overused words or sounds which are used as a crutch during the meeting. The unnecessary words could be the unnecessary words could be and, so, well, you know, whereas the unnecessary sounds could be etc. Well, I have to say this, that the meeting was almost flawless because we had a lot of flawless speakers today. Please allow me to share my screen and my report with that. The flawless speakers for today's meeting were Toastmaster Vinoda, Toastmaster Akriti, and Toastmaster Sazna, whereas the almost flawless speaker for the day was Toastmaster Ankur. Can we have a huge round of applause for all four of them? Thank you. Moving to the detailed report, for the speakers, DTM Vinod had 2 unnecessary pauses in his speech, whereas Toastmaster Jay had 1 R and 2 unnecessary pauses. The evaluators for the day, Toastmaster Manish had 2 R's and a few repeated words. Prabdeep had 2 filler words and 2 unnecessary pauses, whereas Toastmaster Hemant had 5 plus you knows and 2 filler words. Moving to the role players, our language evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Swati, had 2 R's. Toastmaster Pavan, as table topic master, had 3 R's and a few repeated words. And our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hina, had 5 plus ums and 3 R's. Moving to the table topic speakers for the day, Toastmaster Omar had 3 R's. Toastmaster Vinoda, as a table topic speaker, had 2 unnecessary pauses and 1 arm. And Toastmaster Abhishek had 2 unnecessary pauses and 4 R's. That's it for my report. A few tips to work on the unnecessary words or pauses could be this is something which is very underrated, but we are all aware of that. One is being hydrated. So I would really suggest everybody to have a sip or 2 of water before starting your speech or whenever you come onto stage, because it's a proven fact that you tend to use more filler words when your throat is dehydrated. So you may consider doing that. And number 2 is replacing our filler words with pauses. Now consider this, that the pause should not be so long that it comes under the unnecessary pause, this category of the R counter report, and take care of it the next time. That's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Manpreet, for the great report. Well, it's now time to test how the meeting was. And for that, someone was observing the proceedings of the entire meeting. She will now give her comments. And over to you, Toastmaster Nishu, for your GE report.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Hina. And first of all, I would like to say thank you that give me the opportunity to attend this meeting. And as a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the meeting in general. I will present my report with the good things which happened in the meeting, and also I will mention the things where we can improve in our next meetings. So I have a very wonderful team today. So I will start with our Sergeant at Arms, Dr. Vinoda. Dr. Toastmaster Vinoda, you have done wonderful job today because you started the meeting on time. You started with the rule. You read the rules related to the meeting and you read the mission. Your voice was very clear. You were active. But one thing I noticed that I have seen you in different meetings, but I was expecting you will start the meeting with different activities because the title theme was very good. So that only that thing I was expecting. Otherwise, you have done a wonderful job, great job done. So thank you. And second, in role player in my team was Timer Toastmaster Akriti. I have seen that you are very new in this club, but you have done a wonderful job. And you noted down all the timing related to the speeches and the timing for the role players. It was good, but sometime I have taken you missed the timing during the break. You missed to mention the timing for the break. And also one thing I love that you have done during the first speaker Ankur, when Ankur was delivering his speech, but I think he was presenting his slides. You didn't have any option, but you mentioned the timing report during the chat box. But I really love the way you was very active during that time. Otherwise, you have done wonderful job. I don't have any recommendation for you. And that next in my team, we have our counter Toastmaster Manpreet. Toastmaster Manpreet, I really love the way you mention the rules of your role, and you first you start with your report with the flawless speaker, and you very nicely and in a very crisp way you present your report. And at the end, that the thing that I love, that how we can overcome the feelers and pauses during our speeches. You give the wonderful tip to the audience, and I hope all will make use of these tips and they will get benefit of it. Thank you so much. Fabulous job done by you. And the next is the language evaluator in my team is Toastmaster Swati. Toastmaster Swati, I have seen you in different clubs, and you have taken a lot of roles, and you are a seasoned Toastmaster now. And you, as a language evaluator, you chose the word of the day and phrase of the day. It was very simple, and we can make use of in daily life. And even you noted down all the members or all the speakers who use the word of the day and phrase of the day during the meeting. But even I have noted it was matched with me. And the one thing I love that you first of all you give you start with the members who use the word of the day and phrase of the day, and not so good uses, and then good uses with meaning. And at the end, you give the flawless, you have given the tips for the members so that they can reduce the mistake in during their speeches. The one thing I was expecting during your language evaluator role is that when you were mentioning about the role, then you could have given a variety of examples, like how we can make it in a use it as an adjective, as a noun, so that it will be easy, so that members can make use it in different way for that word of the day and phrase of. Otherwise, wonderful job done by you. Thank you. And coming to my next role player team member is table topic master, Toastmaster Pavan Deshpande. Toastmaster Pavan Deshpande, you are very, you handle the situation very nicely. But your topic was very up to the theme, and it was very simple, and you engage the speaker with very, very innovative way. But the one thing I noticed that if you have taken any role in the meeting, first of all, you should check in advance your devices, whether it is working or not. So we can reduce the time, and we can take more topics over there. And second thing that if you already know we are running short of time, then you can during your explanation you can reduce that, and you can directly start with your topics, and you can if you are taking 5 table topic speaker, you can reduce as that. It is in your hand, we can save the time and we can end the meeting on time. Otherwise, topic was very simple and your idea was very good. Wonderful job done by you. Thank you. And coming to the evaluator, I love the way I always love to attend the Toastmaster Club of Pune Northwest meeting, because every time they conduct the meeting in a very innovative manner. So today they have conducted a panel discussion for the evaluation. So we have 3 panelists like Toastmaster Hemant, Toastmaster Prabdeep, and Toastmaster Manish. So first of all, I would like to say to my feedback to the Toastmaster Hemant. Toastmaster Hemant, you have used CRC approach, and the one thing I love the most, that you have presented very crisp report for all the speakers, because up to the point, that I love your evaluation every time. The one thing I missed, that when you were explaining about the Ankur objectives of the speech, where you missed the timing. No, so you have mentioned that the timing for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes, so that the audience and the guest can get to know what exactly that speaker, how long that speaker is going to speak. Wonderful job done. I don't have any recommendation for you. And coming to the Toastmaster Prabdeep, you also used CRC approach, and your evaluation was really very good, and it will helpful for all the speakers. The one thing I give you my advice, suggestion, that you, if you are using the commendation or recommendation, you give it very detailed. But I think you are very good in language. You can make it very crisp. Like if you are giving recommendation or commendation, only in one sentence you can give the recommendation or commendation. For you are repeating the same thing again and again, then so that you can add more recommendation for the speaker. It will help for them. So only this thing I can, if you will make use of it in your life, then it will be good for you. Otherwise, wonderful job done by you. Toastmaster Manish, you also love, I use the CRC approach. And the one thing I want to suggest you, that you should have to divide the time, but how much time I have to give the recommendation, and conclude my evaluation part, because you have taken a lot of time for the commendation, and you have at the end, when you saw that the timing red card is coming, then you have started your recommendation. That's I think recommendation took lot of time. We need 1.5 minutes for the recommendation. It's very important, so that they can apply your recommendation in their next speeches. Please divide your time perfectly. So otherwise, the way you give your evaluation and feedback to the speaker, I really love that. Thank you so much to all the evaluators. I love the way you have conducted the panel of evaluation. The very important role is in my team is Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Hina. Toastmaster Hina, we all know that you are a wonderful speaker. You know how to handle the situation. You know how to conduct the program in a very different way. So today the theme was very good. But initially I was thinking, you simply start with the meaning of the thank you in different languages. Why it is uses. I was expecting that you will do some activities, but during the after break you started the activities with asking the question, asking the views from each and every member. I really love that. And the second thing that I really love that during the table topic master, that you because you have seen that they are taking a lot of time, you started taking the charge, but finally the Toastmaster Pawan was active. But on the 11th hour, you were very active, so that you have taken, so that how we can make use of the time. And the second thing is that the Raghavendra was not there. Then beautifully you showed the presentation and regarding the theme, and you have took the charge of the presidential address. I really love the energy, your ideas, and your confidence level during the meeting. Otherwise, theme was very good. You have done. You mentioned the role players, and overall you are very active throughout the meeting. The one recommendation is that if Dr. Toastmaster Hemant forgot to mention the timing for the speaker, you should have to cover that so that the the guest and the audience can get to know what is the exact time for the speeches. And the second thing is the time is very important for our meetings. But the thing is, if you think that the table topic master evaluation session is taking too much time, then you can in between you can interrupt with the table topic master so that you can cut short the table topic speeches. So we can conclude this meeting on time. Or the third thing is that if there is a change in agenda, because when I have seen that Raghavendra was there for the presidential address, in the starting of the meeting, you should have mentioned Raghavendra is not here, then I will take charge for the presidential address. Otherwise, fabulous job done by you. Thank you so much. And the overall comment that though I have seen we have a selected number of members in this meeting, but the energy level and the quality of the meeting was very good, very good. I really love to attend, and I really appreciate the innovative ideas and the energy level during the. I have seen we have a lot of contest and tall tale. Most of the members are there to attend that contest, but the energy level and quality was very good. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Hina.
Wow, amazing. Toastmaster Nishu, you've always been our, Mr. Dependable for us, for the club. And thanks for accepting this role, for being the GE for the club. And we are really glad to have feedback from you. And we will certainly improve on the points that have been given and try to make our meetings much more interesting so that you come every time with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so now this is the time to announce our awards and recognitions. Before that, do we have Toastmaster Umar? Hello, Toastmaster Umar.
Yeah, yes, you do have.
Hey. So how did you like the meeting today, Umar, and any feedbacks that you have? We cannot hear you, Umar.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, you can.
So overall, I think it was a very well-structured, conducted meeting. I definitely learned a lot from the prepared speeches and the table topics as well. Once again, overall, it was a flawless meeting, I believe, and wishing you guys all the best. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar. We do hope that you will be there the next time. We will be sharing the details, and if you would like to attend our meetings, share your number over with us, and we will add you to our WhatsApp group. Okay. Okay. So Toastmaster Nishu, we've already heard you, but then any other feedback that you would like to, how was the meeting?
Yeah, I really love the way that you every time you were very active and you mentioned the title of the theme for the table topic. So you in between during the meeting you send the messages what is going on. If someone miss that, then you cover up on the time. I really love the energy level and the innovative ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishu. Okay, so let's move on to the awards for the day, and we will start with the best table topic speaker. So yes, Toastmaster, yes, DTM Vinod.
I want to compliment all the three evaluators. They did a great job, right? And really their evaluation is to the point and a specific point we covered. And if we apply these, whatever they have suggested today, our speeches will be great. And I recommend for the next slot also, we should book them as evaluators.
Totally agree. And we, now we'll have a rush of speakers and all the slots will be booked soon because the evaluation panel is there with us. Totally agree. And we certainly had a great evaluation today. Thank you to our panelists, and thank you, DTM Vinod, for bringing this up. Okay, yes, so best table topic speaker for today goes to okay, Toastmaster Vinoda. Congratulations, Toastmaster Vinoda. Our best role players for today, the award goes to Toastmaster Swati for presenting her LA report and for Toastmaster Nishu for such a elaborative GE report. Thank you. Last but not the least, our best speaker award for today goes to DTM Vinod. Congratulations, DTM Vinod. Okay, and with this, we come to the end of the meeting.
Let us take a picture before we close.
We should. So, okay. Well,
Will
we
you
will not
take it?
close just after the picture. We have something else as well. But yeah, shall I click the picture? Evaluator Manish, Jean, Nishu Sharma, and Pawan Deshpande. Can we have your videos, please? Pawan, be
He
able
has
to?
some problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. So you are clicking the picture. Okay, I'll click.
Good.
And it's done.
Perfect.
Okay. Now I would like to end the meeting with something, just trying to bring that child within us. The first gratitude poem that we had learned, and I suppose all of us have learned that first poem as the gratitude poem. And just join your hands, all, please unmute yourselves. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Which poem I'm talking about. Let's start. Who would like to start? Let's see who's got the clue.
I have
Thank
no
you.
idea.
Thank you, God, for everything.
Yes. So let's start. Who would like to recite it?
I
Pravdeep.
don't know.
I don't know.
You not heard it? Okay. Manpreet? Not heard it? Okay, Nishu ma'am, chalo.
What is this new common poem that only two people have heard?
Hi, yeah. I thought it would be common. Okay, so let's just have it at least. Thank you, God, for food we eat.
Thank you, God, for food you eat.
Eat.
No, मेरे साथ साथ बोलोगे. Thank you, God, for world so sweet.
Thank you,
Thank you,
God,
God,
for
for
world so
world so
What's so
sweet.
sweet?
Thank you, God, for everything.
Thank you,
Thank you
God, for
for
everything.
everything.
Right.
हम इंग्लिश हमारे हिंदी मीडियम में इतनी शक्ति थी तो हमें ज्यादा प्राप्त थे तो आपको याद नहीं है
half याद है sir.
Okay, nice to have you all, with such an enthusiasm today. And with this, we will be closing the meeting.